Welcome, it's denome, and welcome to This Week in Crypto. In this week's episode, we're going to take a special look into on-chain analytics of Bitcoin because there are some bearish signs, but on-chain it's actually super bullish in my opinion. So I have to take a look at a deeper look into on-chain analytics in this video. We're going to take a look at the biggest news that happened in the crypto space in the last week also, as well as at the end of the video we're going to take a look at altcoins, and I have a new altcoin that I actually added in my portfolio. If you watch my portfolio update video, so I added one more coin into the portfolio, as well as I took one coin out. So I will talk about those at the end of the video if you want to stick around for some of my altcoin ideas. Anyway, just looking at the Bitcoin chart here, on the weekly view, you can see this big high cycle top indicator here. And also if we take a look at the MACD histogram, it is looking like it might turn red. So if this actually turns red, that would probably mean that we would see a few weeks or even months Bitcoin consolidation or downside movement. But it could also bounce back to the upside, but for now it's slowing down. As well as the MACD here, the moving averages are looking like they're converging. So far they are still looking good, but if it goes to the negative side, then we might see some negative price movements. But if we go to the daily view, you can see that we're just hammering this resistance line here. Here we were hammering it, and basically for the last 3 days we have been hammering this resistance line. So I thought we would actually break through it last week already. So now we still have a few more days, maybe until the end of the week, that we just have to get above it, in my opinion. Otherwise we might actually go on the weekly view to the negative side, and then we might consolidate or even go back further down with Bitcoin price. So we'll see how that goes. But on the technical side, I would not be too worried, because now if we go and take a look at on-chain analytics and we take a look at Bitcoin exchange net flow, you can see that on April 6th 80,000 Bitcoin were actually taken out of exchanges and added into private wallets. So I don't know if this is another big company just buying a lot of Bitcoin at once or what this was. So all in all, a lot of Bitcoin is exiting exchanges, and this is a super bullish indicator in my opinion, because we can see that people want to hold Bitcoin rather than add it on exchanges. And usually Bitcoin tops happen when people are depositing their Bitcoin onto exchanges so that they can sell the Bitcoin on the exchanges. So for now, I'm still bullish on Bitcoin. And if we just take a look at the net amount of Bitcoin on exchanges, that was the net flow. So this is looking at individual days, but this is the cumulative amount of Bitcoin on exchanges. And as long as this red number is going down, it means that people want to hold Bitcoin rather than sell it. And even if we take a look at miner outflows, even miners are still just accumulating Bitcoin rather than selling it. So for me, even though the technical side is not looking super good for Bitcoin, or the indicators on the chart are not looking too good for Bitcoin, I'm still quite bullish that we will actually break through and go to the upside from that 60k. So this to me is looking very, very bullish. Next is there was a really cool technical analysis made on Cointelegraph, so I'll share it here by Chris Voer. I don't know how to say that, but anyway, he was looking at the R-HODL ratio here, and the key thing is that with R-HODL, usually what you see is that the selling is getting higher and higher towards the cycle top here. But for this cycle, the selling is actually going down in the recent months. So while this has been going down, Bitcoin has actually gone up. So people are selling less Bitcoin right now because they are expecting higher prices. Contrast that to previous cycles where the trading activity moved more towards the sell side, towards the cycle top. So this just looks like, and they said it here, that this suggests that profit seekers, even short and long-term focused profit seekers, are starting to hold their Bitcoin again, expecting higher prices to come. So this is looking good for Bitcoin. And another indicator that was talked about here is something called a dormancy flow. And this indicator suggests that the 365-day average spending behavior of Bitcoin measured in USD is very healthy and far below prior bull market spending. So if you just add how would I say this, horizontal line here, you can see that we are still not even in bull market territory according to this line. So if we go above this line, that's when the real bull market actually started on 2017 here, and previously on 2013, 2012, 2014. During that time, we were above this line here as well. So I don't know how accurate this indicator here is again, but still we're not above it. So I guess that's rocket fuel for Bitcoin. Anyway, also if you take a look at the addresses that hold more than 1,000 Bitcoin, this has actually flattened once again. We'll see if this starts to go down again, but this bottomed at 2,232 addresses that had more than 1,000 Bitcoin, but now it's up to 2,240 wallets that have more than 1,000 Bitcoin. So these whales that were selling to this consolidation area, they have, at least for now, for the last week, basically stopped selling. So this is looking good for Bitcoin as well. Now let's actually go to the news before we talk about the altcoins. So Sri Lanka, they gave a warning about Bitcoin, but this is nothing to worry about because they just gave a warning because it is not regulated in Sri Lanka. So it's just a warning, nothing else to it, but just something interesting. And this was super bullish for Bitcoin once again. So Fed's Kashkari, I don't exactly know what his position is. Fed President, okay, Minneapolis Federal Reserve President Neil Kashkari said on Thursday that he would not panic if he saw a 4% inflation rate. So if the official inflation is 4%, I wonder what the unofficial, the real inflation rate will be. But anyway, this just means that there will be more inflation on the markets, and I think a lot of more investors are getting into Bitcoin for this reason, because it is an inflation hedge and most people already believe it is that. So this was good news for Bitcoin, but bad news for the economy and for the people who do not have Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Next, and this was quite interesting, the European Central Bank board member attacks Bitcoin, or attacks, you should, I don't know if that's an attack, but really didn't have anything good to say about Bitcoin. So she says that it does not fulfill the basic properties of money, and it is a speculative asset and should not be even called a currency. So that's what she says here. And she used this opportunity in this interview to reiterate that ECB's resolve is to create its own digital currency. So they want to create the digital euro. And the scary part here is that she says that the project, which is the digital euro, has to be properly set up. So they want to do some setting up for the digital euro. So I don't know what this properly set up means. If there will be bad regulatory things coming to EU, I don't know. Currently it's not too bad, everything, all the proposals that I have looked at, but to me this is a little bit scary, so I have to say that. But then Twitterverse attacked this lady, and a user Plan B basically said, oh, I have to go back here because this is a little bit funny, that what she said is that nobody can offer a similar degree of security and data protection as this ECB. People find that topic important. As consumers to whom we want to disclose our data, they are surely more likely to trust the ECB than Facebook or private operators. But here Plan B actually counters that and says that what about people in Zimbabwe, Venezuela, Lebanon, Turkey? Those beg to differ after what central banks did to their money. So what this means is that if you have a central bank and they just print money out of thin air, there will be inflation, and this inflation is rampant on these countries. So you shouldn't trust central banks, in my opinion, and Plan B just iterates that. And there were other people also commenting on this story. By the way, yeah, I'm shooting this video outside this time. It looks like somebody was vacuuming their house. Anyway, let's continue. HSBC, and this is a British bank, they actually changed their cryptocurrency policy. So this is actually a little bit bearish because they have now barred their clients from buying crypto and crypto related stocks. So even a stock like MicroStrategy, they have banned trading that stock because it holds cryptocurrency. So I don't know what's the deal here. I think they are trying to swim against the current, and it just doesn't make any sense in my opinion. But anyway, that's what they do here. They are free to do whatever they want, but that's their stance there. And that's a good thing, is that normally if you see a story like this, Bitcoin price actually usually goes down because of these news. But it just shows that Bitcoin has more strength now than it had before. So that's pretty cool to see as well. Next, and this was good for XRP and why the price of XRP actually pumped. So court has denied SEC's request for personal financial records not connected to XRP for the founders of XRP. So this is what happened, and XRP pumped. Good for XRP holders. All right, I guess we can continue. Anyway, you'd have to shut down the internet. Oh, this was an interesting talk. You can actually watch this or listen to this podcast or virtual conference where the SEC member Hester Pierce, aka Crypto Mom, she said it would be foolish for any company or government to actually ban Bitcoin. And if you want to ban Bitcoin, you should basically shut down the whole internet at this stage. And what she wants to have is actually regulation, but the regulation should be productive and non-restrictive at the same time. So that's good that we have people inside the SEC in United States who are actually crypto positive and pro crypto. So that's pretty cool. Next, another hedge fund gets crypto exposure via Grayscale, and it's called Millennium. I don't know this hedge fund, but pretty cool that they actually bought Bitcoin. Also, a Chinese tech firm, Meitu, they now have $100 million worth of Bitcoin and Ethereum in their treasury. That's pretty cool as well, that more companies are getting exposure and buying even more Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. This was a little bit worrying to me, but after rethinking, I'm not too worried about it. But anyway, there's a survey now that shows that 9% of American teens have actually traded cryptocurrency. So what this means is that the cryptocurrency is actually pretty mainstream already if 9% of American teens have traded cryptocurrency. So I don't know what the core audience for this survey was, but anyway, teens have exposure to cryptocurrencies. So from adoption's point of view, this number is already quite high. So maybe this will be 30%, maybe 40%. I don't believe a lot of teens want to trade cryptocurrencies. So I don't know what to make of this story. But anyway, a lot of people already have exposure to cryptocurrencies. Next, I think, yeah, those were the main stories from last week. Basically nothing super serious or super exciting, but all in all, just back and forth news about Bitcoin. And now let's actually talk about the altcoins that I'm bullish on. So last week I actually made a portfolio update where I updated all the coins that I had in my portfolio. But I actually took out a coin from that portfolio, which is called SBDO. And the reason I took SBDO out is that I don't trust the stabilization mechanism for their stablecoin, which is called the BDO. It's an algorithmic stablecoin, but I think this stabilization mechanism has been compromised, and I made a lengthy post on my Telegram channel. It's a free channel, you can join it and you can read it there. I will link it in the description if you want to take a look at the announcement. But anyway, I sold my SBDO for that reason, and I actually bought a coin called Trade. I did not use all the money from SBDO to buy Trade. I also bought Bitcoin, but I bought Trade I think on Friday or Saturday, and it already went up 50%. So that the gain, the market cap was about $22 million when I bought it, but I think it still makes a lot of sense. And the reasons why I actually bought it are that if you take a look at the utility for Unitrade, is that they are connected with Uniswap, and now they are also connected with PancakeSwap. So you can actually make limit orders on the Unitrade application. So all the tokens that are available on Uniswap or PancakeSwap, you can make limit orders and stop orders, or the stop loss orders for those tokens as well. So that's pretty cool that you can use that utility for this. But with the version 3 of Unitrade. They have Unitrade farms coming. They will have an IDO launchpad. So you will see token launches here. They will have a lottery, NFT crafting portal, and they will actually have their own exchange here as well. So all these are coming in the version 3. And if you take a look at the roadmap, they have a bunch of things coming with the marketing. On the roadmap, they have smart contract developments, and they have a front-end stuff coming here on the roadmap as well. And the team has been around, I think, 7-8 months already. So I think they're pretty legit. And the final nail to the coffin is that if you go to autofarm.network and you farm with BNB and trade token, the yield currently is about 2000% annually, so about 1% per day. So as you can see, I already added the liquidity for BNB and trade token here, so I'm earning 1% per day for this trading pair. Anyway, those are basically the reasons why I just bought the trade token. So in my opinion, it made a lot of sense. I don't know if it makes a lot of sense here. Maybe it can go to $50 million, maybe it can go even higher, but mainly I just want the yield from this one, and I don't think the downside is too high. Maybe it goes to like $15 million, but not much below that. And if they release their own DEX, and it should have some more utility that some other DEXs out there don't have, maybe it can go much higher than it is currently. But anyway, the team is pretty hard working and they have some innovative stuff. So for those reasons, I bought Unitrade in my portfolio. Some other coins that actually performed quite well is of course the Cake token and the BNB token itself. But for the BNB token, I just want to give a brief warning. It went to $600 already, and they will have the quarterly burn in, I think, somewhere this week. Maybe the date itself is not confirmed, but when that burn actually happens, I think that might be the local top for BNB. So when that burn is actually announced, my plan is to actually sell a little bit of my BNB tokens in profit, and maybe buy Bitcoin or some other coins out there that I am bullish on that time. But other coins on this list, other coins in this list are basically the same coins that I talked about in the portfolio update video, so you can look at that if you want to. Sell token, I'm super happy about this also, that it actually broke through the consolidation phase, and now we are in price discovery mode, so it went up 20%, and this is a coin that I'm super happy to hold long term as well. And there's one coin that I am actually looking to buy this week, because on 16th of April there will be not an airdrop, but a token release for the early investors. So people who got in the pre-sale for Orion, they will get big amounts of Orion sent to their wallets on 16th of April. And usually, if you look at the chart, every time that happens, the price actually drops quite a bit. So I'm looking to buy the drop on 16th of April. So that's a coin that I'm looking to enter this week as well. And some coins I might enter this week or not enter this week. We'll see how things go. It's always, you go from things from day to day and see what looks good or what doesn't look good. Something else right now, not really. Bunny went up super much, so I basically missed this boat here. I hope Auto token will follow suit. Let's actually take a look at what the market cap for Bunny token is right now. The market cap does not show here. It was 150 million, so if it went up 50% basically last week, then it has to be like 200 million already. So that's basically already double than Auto market cap, even though they have the same total value locked. So that's quite interesting to me. I personally would not buy Bunny at this price, but cards, it went up 100%, so that was a really cool play again. I think I've gone long enough once again. Yeah, I think not much I want to say about other coins. YLD token, this is probably undervalued. It's a similar app like Celsius application, and they actually have a lot of signups coming to their platform all the time. So if you want to get a coin, YLD could make sense as well. I personally don't have this yet. I was thinking of buying it, but then I did not add it in my portfolio last week. I might buy it, but currently I don't have it. But it's one of those coins that I'm like 50-50, should I buy it or not? So just take that this might enter in my portfolio quite soon as well. Something else, not really. Yeah, I think that's it for this video. Anyway, I hope you liked it. Consider subscribing, and I will see you on the next video. Cheers.